Pray for wisdom from above, knowing I can trust God's timing and way, and His will to be done for them. As for Nick, it's harder to relinquish him to the Heavenly Father, seeing how he always dug in his heels against righteousness. Silas has pointed out to me repeatedly since Nick's leaving how difficult he was for his family. His involvement with Christian's accident has certainly tainted him in the eyes of the people. Honestly, it still plagues me what was so urgently on Christian's mind the last time I saw the bishop's biological son, the day before his death. And if it was Nick he wanted to discuss, as I suspect, what could he have revealed about him that I didn't already know? Despite my struggles with that haunting memory, it is our kindly bishop who must struggle with more bitter memories of his own. He now bears the burden of Nick's part in the untimely death. Just this morning, while I was in the barn, Dot said the neighboring bishops, especially old Ezekiel, are putting pressure on Bishop Aaron. If Nick doesn't return and offer a solid explanation by year's end, when the reading of the Welthemde comes, they'll judge the bishop guilty of failing to get Nick into the church fold, Dot said, his eyes moist. I contemplated the prophetic scriptures in Matthew, where the last days are revealed, the teachings on the tribulation and great deception. The ministers always read those sobering chapters at preaching service near the end of the year. "Do you really think the ministers would oust our bishop?" I asked Dot. "Oh, they'll try." "Even though Nick's not the bishop's own kin?" "There's a debate going on," Dot replied. "That's all I'd better say." I paused next to my favorite driving horse, stroking George's thick mane. Secretly, I'd ridden this horse bareback many times, all through the years of Nick's and my late-night riding adventures, Nick on Pepper and me on George. Shivering, I knew that if bullheaded Nick was already caught up in the world, gone to the edge and beyond, then he would never return to the haven of the people. Later in the day, Mom and I talked quietly in the bright little room where she found comfort in her mid-afternoon naps. In the past few weeks, she'd suffered a bad bout with the respiratory flu. The illness had weakened her further, compounding her usual misery of aches and pains. I could hear Mommy Sylvia, my maternal grandmother, preparing the noon meal. "We're having one of your favorite dishes today," I whispered, touching Mom's frail hand. Her eyes brightened. "Smell the delicious veal loaf?" She nodded, grimacing with pain. It was hard seeing Mom in such frail health. Dot doubted she'd be strong enough to witness Cousin Esther's vows to her beloved John tomorrow. It was awful selfish on my part, but I felt somewhat gloomy that Mom wouldn't be there to see me stand up with Esther. After all, this was my first time as a bride's attendant. Yet it is Hen who is most troubled by Mom's suffering, because she's been living in town since her marriage to Brandon Oranger. Now that she's staying here with her daughter, Maddie Sue, in our smallest dowdy house, she's discovering aplenty what things cause Mom pain, physical and otherwise. "Did you hear? Deacon Samuel Esch's niece, Annie Mast, is soon to have her babies," my mother said suddenly, though in a whisper. "Twins, the midwife says." "Ah, such a wonderful good blessing for Annie and her husband." "Yeah." Mom smiled weakly. "They've sent for Rebecca Bontrager to be a mother's helper. Rebecca's father is a second cousin to the deacon, you know." "Oh?" I was surprised they'd chosen someone so far away. I hadn't heard a peep from Rebecca for a good 9 years. Last I'd seen her, she was 12. Some of the girls, already intimidated by her blossoming beauty, were sure it was nothing less than Providence she'd upped and moved to Indiana prior to her courting years. Even Cousin Esther had been quite relieved, considering the way Rebecca had begun to turn the heads of more than one church boy, John Glick included.